Hello ladies, welcome to our outdoor class. This is clearly an indoor class that we're holding over Zoom, but we are going to be holding the same format as our outdoor class. So Dave, I actually won't need that cue this time. So this class is going to go a little bit longer than the traditional 9:30 Zoom class, or what you're used to when you were able to come to the gym and work out upstairs. We're going to begin, in case you've never taken one of the outdoor classes before, I'll give you a little idea of the format. We're going to begin with a 10-minute warm-up. This is going to include a little bit of low-impact cardio. So nice 10 minutes, get you nice and warm. Then we're going to go into a more traditional strength training session. I'm going to do my best today to do all body weight stuff. Usually when we do our outdoor classes, we have like some weights. But since you guys are at home, I don't know what equipment you have, so we are just doing body weight. And then we finish with a luxurious 10-minute cool down. I believe this whole workout runs about 48 minutes. Good, so nice low impact, reaching across the chest, keeping the core nice and tight, keeping the chest nice and open, neck is long. And get that breath going. It's kind of warm in here, so I'm gonna be real gross and sweaty and drippy, and it's gonna be really attractive. All right, now let's bring those arms overhead. Again, keeping that core nice and tight, you wanna feel a little bit of that oblique extension. Beautiful. Good. Now, as we move through, just a quick reminder, quick note, do what is right for your body. I will be providing modifications and progressions as we go. Here and there, I may be checking my phone. I'm not texting about you guys. It's me checking what's coming up next. Also possibly checking the time frame. Good. And we have 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Knees are nice and soft. We're going to bring our hands up in a ready position, up on your toes very slightly, and we're going to rock right to left. Now you notice my whole body is moving. You'll notice my feet are not leaving the ground. They're just sinking through the ankles. And let's take it up double time. So we go over, over. Beautiful. Now this is called a boxer shuffle. This is the low impact version. Again, you can see I'm not leaving the floor. However, if you wanted it to be a little more challenging, we pick it up. We'll just hold it here for just a sec. Good. If this is too much, if your ankles, knees, hips don't like this, just bring it back down to low impact. And here comes that heart rate. Yay! Good. So, the other aspect of doing what is right for your body, I don't know what kind of home setup you have. So especially during the cardio section, if you have like air purifiers and your AC is going and you are breathing nice and easy and the air feels good, that's great. Push yourself. If you don't have that, take it down. If you feel your chest start to burn, problems breathing, anything like that, do what is right for you today. The only important thing is that you're here. Let's bring the arms down and we'll go around. Beautiful. Because I don't know about you ladies, but exercise has been incredibly important for my mental health. It's been like the one thing I've managed to do right this entire pandemic. So just keep exercising. All right, so we have our invisible jump rope. Invisible jump rope is very convenient because it's so much easier than a real one. So we're gonna bring the knees up just a little bit. Now again, you can go low impact here, or if you want to, go ahead and give me just the tiniest little hop in between. And that heart rate's coming up. Temperature is coming up nice and warm, which is great because muscles are very much like taffy in that they move and stretch much easier when you are warm. Good. We're gonna do these little high knees for 4, 3, 2. Let's go into a low impact hamstring curl. So we'll bring it back. Now you notice that I'm hinging forward slightly at the hips so that my heels can come straight up the back of my thigh without overarching my back, shoving my tummy out. Want to make sure that we don't hyperextend. And this is my recovery. If this feels good for you ladies, you can stay right here. However, if you want to bring it back up, get a little bit more cardio up, you can add the tiniest little bounce just through the ankle. Notice once again, I'm not moving the floor. This is going to bring the heart rate up, but is still considered low impact. But, you know, there's always another progression to be had. If you want, add those little hops. Beautiful. Dave turned the computer toward me so I can see a few of you going. It looks pretty good. Gorgeous. We'll keep this going for 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Give me little step taps. Shake it out. Recovery. We have about 4 minutes of our cardio section left. We're going to go into some air squats. Essentially, these are just squats with no weight. So, feet about hip distance apart, maybe a touch wider, toes in general are pointing forward, hinge at the hips, and come down, drag through the heels, come all the way up, pulling that booty all the way underneath you. Down and up, down and up. Let's pick up the pace, and we're gonna go faster. Good. Now, if your knees are troubled, just give me little ones, little bitty ones. That's fine. It's like you've got a wall back here, just go boop, touch your butt. Beautiful. Good. And now we're gonna add a high knee to this, which means we come down, knee comes up, down, knee comes up, down. Now it's really important here that as we move through, we recenter our weight every time so that we're not kind of over. See how wonky my knees are? That's no good. And up. Low impact, but we're moving briskly, moving with purpose. We're moving with fire. Oh, sort of an unfortunate turn of phrase. We're moving with enthusiasm. That's better. Good. Now, if you want this to be a little bit harder, you're gonna add a kick. Kick, squat, kick. Beautiful. Bring those hands up, right in front of like your jawline. This is gonna do 2 things. It allows you to pretend you're a boxer and you're shielding your face. Bringing the arms up though, engages the core just a little bit more. And your heart rate's just gonna come up. The higher your limbs are up the body, the harder your heart has to work. Good. And we have 3, and we have 2, and we have 1, and we're gonna hold this last squat, little semi squat here. So not too deep, hands up. Good. Belly button in, shoulders back and down. Little bit of burn here, maybe. We're going to take our weight, one side and the other. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Now you notice this is different than the boxer shuffle. Core is staying tight and centered. Good. Pick those heels up slightly. We're gonna go a little faster, and a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and suddenly we're doing football feet. Doing this drill, again, low impact. We're not actually jumping here. Knees stay soft, hips stay soft, Core is tight, shoulders back and down, hands up. Now, when I say go, you're gonna stop your football feet. You're gonna give me a squat. If you can, you're gonna touch the floor with your fingertips. So it'll look like this. We'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And then you're gonna top, and then you come back up and go. Got it? 3, 2, 1, go. Tap and go. Nice. Beautiful. Now, one more layer to this. When you hear me say the number 3, Everybody do that countdown. During the 3, 2, 1, you're gonna do this as fast as you humanly possibly can. So it'll be like 3, 2, 1, go, and then regular. Got it? And 3, 2, 1, go. Regular. Ooh, we only got 20 seconds left. How did that go by so fast? 3, 2, fast, fast, go. Good. Beautiful, ladies. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, fast, 1, go. Regular. Woo! Beautiful. All right, this is a break. Please get some water. Get yourself a little towel. And you're gonna find a spot on the wall because we are going to be doing our wall sits. I'm gonna do mine right here against the pole. All right, so we're moving into our strength section now. This is going to be a little bit more of what you remember. We have about a 35-second work interval, followed by, I believe, a 15-second rest. I will cue you through. So let's get ready for our wall sits. Walk the feet out. You really do want them out far enough so that your knees aren't over your ankles. We don't want this sharp angle here. So nice and far with the feet. Weight in the heels. Let's begin set 1. Very simple for set 1, just body weight. Make sure your knees and your toes are in alignment. No falling in, no flaring out. Check on your knees. Are they happy? If not, just come up. Make the angle a little less severe. If they are happy, try and bring it down just a little bit and see how you do. Oh, we only got 5 seconds left. Look at that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you can hear that ding. This is our 15-second break. All right, now for set 2, same thing, except if your knees are happy, I want you to go down deep. And here we go. So you notice right now my side seam is almost parallel to the floor. Can you get there? Yeah. Can you get the top of your thigh parallel to the floor? Weight in those heels. Breathe. Good, don't worry, it's not gonna be 2 more sets of this. We're gonna change it up because I get bored easy. Good. 3, 2, 1, and up we go, safely, and hopefully less awkward than what I just did. All right, sets 3 and 4, we're gonna bring our feet all the way together. If you have any knee problems, you'll just go down and hold your wall sit. However, if your knees are happy today, we're gonna add a march. You'll notice I'm not as low as I was before. Drive through your right heel hard, you're gonna pick your left foot up. And then you're gonna slowly put it back down. And then you're gonna drive through your left heel, pick your right foot back up. And slowly put it back down. A marching wall sit. Now it's gonna be easy for the hips to get all wackadoo as you're shifting your weight from side to side. Try to keep them as even as humanly possible. A little movement is fine, but try to minimize it. We got 2 more seconds, 1 more, there's the break. Unless you don't need it. If you don't need it, keep going. If this march isn't working for your knees, don't do the march. Very simple. Here's our last set. Gorgeous. Sink down a little lower if it's available to you. Meaning, if you can do it. Not meaning if it's easy. Keep that breath going. My legs are really burning right on top of those quads. And at the end of this set, we're gonna come on down to our mats. 3, 2, 1, boom. So we get a little bit of a longer break between our 4 sets. So we should get about 30 seconds. Little sip of water, and then you're gonna come down to the mat. Because guess what? It's planks time. 15 more seconds for your break. Take advantage of it. Now for set one, it's going to be a normal plank. On your toes and your elbows. If you need to, grab a chair or a bench. Now making sure shoulders directly over your elbows. Tailbone tucked, back is flat, butt is squeezed, legs are straight. Belly button is pulled up and into the spine. And just breathe. Good. Making sure your tailbone isn't too high. You want to drop it right down to center. There's the break. Take your breaks. Child's pose. Please drop your knees first, not your hips. You really don't want to see this. Okay, so that's not great for your lower back. Another normal plank. Now, I am going to do my best to verbally cue you as much as possible. I know that when you're on the floor, it's harder to see your computer. Good. Now for this set, try softening your knees, but keeping that tailbone tucked. Good. Feel how that's different in your lower abs. And then you're going to straighten out your knees and feel how that's different. 3, 2, 1. Oof. There's the break. Fabulous. Sets 3 and 4. We're going to hit those obliques. 1 set each. We're going to do a side plank. I'm going to show you modified first. Bent lower knee, straight line through the whole body, and hips are up off the mat. Now this is a modified side plank. If your shoulder doesn't care for this, being on one shoulder like this, you can go back to a regular plank. That's totally fine. If this is too easy, both legs straight and up we go. And hold. We got just 10 more seconds left here. Belly button is in, but booty is squeezed. We want the hips all the way forward, and we should feel it running down the side of that waist. There's the break, 15 seconds. Ooh, I'm getting sweaty. I told you how very attractive and glowing I would get during this workout. 3, 2, 1, side plank. Modified first. Demo this first. That bent lower knee here acts as a little bit of a kickstand. Takes some pressure off the shoulder. Actually, as I'm looking, to make an adjustment here. Good. And if this isn't hard enough for you, give me those straight legs. Give me that squeezed butt. Give me that belly button that's in. Hand can be here or here. Feet are stacked for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. This is our long break. I need some water. Good. And next up, you're going to be lying all the way down on your tummy. 15 more seconds. We're going to be doing Superman. What is Superman, you may ask? Well, I shall remind you. All the way down on your tummy, arms are at 90 degrees. Here comes the ding. First, you're going to pull your belly button into your spine. Then you are going to squeeze your butt. Then you're going to pick your toes and your chest up off the mat. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and drop. Booty squeeze, core tight, hold it up. 3, 2, 1. We're working our upper back with no weights here, as well as all the lower back muscles. Bring it up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Here's our break. Couple of things. If this is hard on your lower back, do not come up too high. I will give you a few progressions though, okay? So you'll notice that we come up and then we take a quick break. So we come up for 3, 2, 1. You can take a break or not. You just hold it. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Butt is squeezed very hard. That's gonna help support that lower back. And chest is high. This is an isometric hold, meaning it's just one pose, one muscle contraction for the entirety of the set. If this is too much, give yourself a little break and then get right back into it. 3, 2, there's the break. Fabulous. All right. You can do what we did in set 1. You can do what we did in set 2, or you can add this little piece to it. This is my favorite, actually. And belly button in, glute squeezed up. Now you ladies remember lat pull downs. I bet you missed them, so we're gonna add some. You're gonna reach those arms up overhead, grab an invisible bar, and then you're gonna pull it down and squeeze your back muscles. And the whole time your chest is up, glutes are squeezed and toes are lifted. Reach, grab the bar, squeeze those back muscles. Ooh, yes, one more time. Reach, grab, pull it down, squeeze. Good, there's the break. All right, now you have your choice. Set 1, we got our breaks. Set 2, isometric hold. Or set 3, we had our lat pull downs with the isometric hold. That's the one I'm gonna do for set 4, but it's up to you. Make sure you squeeze your booty. Make sure you pull your belly button in, chest is up, arms are up, toes are up. And you're gonna reach over that head. Pull that invisible lat pull down bar and then squeeze. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades, you're also trying to hit those lats. So you're dropping those shoulder blades into your back pockets. Good. Now this is set 4, ladies. We are going to move on after this and turn over onto our backs. Squeeze. Good. We got 5 more seconds. That's it. You can do anything for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Woo. This is our real break. Please roll over onto your side. Be mindful. Get some water as needed. And I spilled some. 15 more seconds. All right. So we're gonna lie all the way down on our backs, arms at our sides. Feet all the way together. And in just a moment, here we go. You're gonna squeeze your booty, pick those hips up and drive through heels. And we're just gonna hold it. Here's another isometric hold. If your lower back feels a little tender or tired after those Supermen, try dropping your hips just the tiniest bit, but keep those butt cheeks squeezed together hard. I want you to also try to squeeze those thighs together. I know it's gonna be really hard, but I want you to engage your booty and your inner thighs. It's all working one glorious piece. Oh, there it is. That's the break. Fabulous. All right, I'm just gonna turn around this way. All right, set 2, we're gonna progress. Squeeze the booty, pick those hips up. We're going to do a marching bridge. So that means right knee is gonna come up, just as one piece, hold it for a second, and then you're going to slowly drop it back down. And then the other side, just pick it up, hold it for a second, and then slowly drop it back down, find your center, and squeeze your booty every time in between each of these. Now, as you transition your weight to 1 foot instead of 2, you're probably going to notice that the work transitions, and there's the break, the work transitions from the butt, the glutes, a little bit more into the hamstrings. Good, now set 3 and 4, you're welcome to keep doing the marches if you like, or progress once more. Hips up, booty squeezed. Only the right foot comes up this time. Pull it all the way in. And then you're gonna give me a full extension. All the way straight. And then all the way in. And I want you to pay attention to that left hamstring as your right foot moves through space. Should feel easier here when the knee is close. Should feel harder there when the foot is far away. Burns. Good. And there's the break. Glad for that one. Excellent. Now you're not going to get as much height in your hips when you're on one leg the entire time, so don't worry about it as long as your butt is just off the floor at least, then I'm happy. Booty up, left leg up this time, and extend. Experiment with the depth. This is gonna feel a lot easier than this, where you hover the foot just above the floor. Have fun with it. How low can you go? This is set 4 of this one. Belly button is in. And at the end of set 4, we're gonna go into push-ups. This means floor, ooh, there's the break, bench or wall. Get some water. Now I'm gonna start by demonstrating a knee, 15 more seconds. I'm gonna start by demonstrating a knee push-up. Partly because I feel like this is gonna be most accessible to more people, but also because my neck and shoulders are a little rough today. So for this one, we're gonna do hands a little bit farther apart than shoulder distance. Hips are right in line. So one straight line from your knees to the top of your head. You're going to come down and up. Keeping your shoulders away from the ears. I tend to drop my feet down to the floor, releases the hamstring muscles. Keep those glutes squeezed. Beautiful. Now, I'm going down, and there's the break. I'm going down fairly far. I'm getting almost all the way down to the floor. If you need to do smaller range of motion, that's fine. Let's get back into it. You got 5, 4. Now this is a full push-up here. I'll demonstrate this. This is challenging, but if you'd like to try, there, yep, you see you can't get down quite as far. But the plank becomes even more important here. Tucking that tailbone just like you would with a regular plank. Nice squeeze booty. Core's nice and tight. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. And you do not sag your hips or your tummy. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Good. Now I've been demonstrating a wide push-up so far, but it is also okay to do a narrow. Narrow push-up's gonna hit the triceps a little bit more. Each person is gonna have different needs. So let's try a tricep push-up, see if it works for you. So hands are closer together, just underneath the shoulders. Elbows go very close to the rib cage. Very, very close. So no weird flare like this. This is gonna hit the tricep quite a bit more. It's also going to feel harder. So you'll notice I'm not getting down as far as I did with my wide knee push-ups. Now for some people, this is much better for their shoulders. Here's the break. For others, not so much. Figure out what works best for you. Now finally, I'm going to show you one more modification. I have wrist issues sometimes. So if you're like me, you can do what's called monkey paws. Let's go ahead and get started. But you see, I'm on the strong part of my knuckle here. And I stack my wrist right on top of it. So my wrist is now able to stay really straight. Another alternative is to invest in a pair of push-up bars. These are just little grippy guys that you hold. They're just above the floor so that you can keep your wrists nice and straight in case your knuckles don't feel quite strong enough. 3, 2, 1. Good. And that's a bigger break. Did you enjoy my TED Talk about push-ups? All right, we have about 20 seconds of our break left. And we're going to turn over. Actually, you know what? We're going to stay on our hands and knees. Now, if your wrists feel tired, especially after those push-ups, you're more than welcome to be on your hands and elbows. In fact, that's what I'm going to do here. Good. So, right leg is going to come all the way back. Keep it nice and straight for me. Back stays nice and flat. You're going to lift that heel up and pulse. We have donkey kicks. Good. Now, a couple of small goals here. We want to keep those hips really, really even. If you're down on your elbows like I am, you're probably going to need to lift the heel a little higher to get that glute to work. If you're up on your hands, you don't need to come up quite so high. Good, that's 15-second break right here. Now, the other thing you want to watch out for is sinking into either hip. It's very, very common when you're on one side to sort of collapse. If you can see that, I'm trying to exaggerate a little bit. Try to center your weight just above that knee. So instead of all of your weight rolling to the outside of your knee and shin, it's really centered. That way you've engaged through this hip, bringing your spine nice and straight into a neutral position, and it's not going to make this quite so sore, which is good because we're going for the other glute. Good. So I'm on my elbows here to give my wrists a little break, but I'm going to come back up onto my hands so you can see a donkey kick there. A little child's pose if you like. Good. So the challenge with being on your hands is that there's a tendency to arch the lower back to get height. We want to make sure that the lower back stays nice and neutral and that all of this height is centered only in the glute, right here. Belly button is in. Especially when you're up on your hands, you're not going to get as high as you think you need to because I really don't want that lower back to arch that way. Little tiny movements. And if you like, you can pick up the pace. So you just make it real smooth. We don't want to bounce. But you want to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and pick it up and keep it going. Now the booty's burning. Very nice. 15 seconds. And one more time on the other side. We're approaching set 4. All right. Excuse me. Here we go. All right, at the end of set 4, ladies, we get to turn over onto our backs. Belly button is in, back is nice and flat. Now, if you like, you can try giving me a 90-degree pulse here. Oh, making sure my lower back doesn't arch. This is going to feel different. It's going to engage the hamstring and the glute. While this is a little more challenging because the weight is farther away from the body, but that's going to be more glute centered. And there's our big break. Get some water and then very mindfully turn over onto your back. We're going to go into some ab work. So I'm going to start talking before the end of the break. Feel free to keep taking your break, but there's some things I want to go over before we begin. We're going to start with our legs in a 90-degree position. And I want that lower back to stay flat on the floor. Imagine you're lacing your rib bones and your hip bones together. And here's the beginning. Belly button is into the spine, lower back is flat, arms are at your sides or behind your head, and you're just going to hold a 90-degree angle. Now this all by itself is going to give us a little bit of lower ab work. If your lower back feels sensitive, pull the knees in a little closer. If your lower back feels fairly good, you want more of a challenge, push those thighs farther away. Either way though, that lower back's gotta stay down because you're clenching your abs in front so very hard. And there's the break. Very good. All right, set 2, we're gonna add a little bit of movement to that. So, whether you're here or whether you're here, it's going to be a small range of motion, but you're just going to beat your knees. Beat, beat, beat. Very small, very slow. Belly button's in, lower back is down. Beautiful. Good. I'm gonna make a small adjustment here, pull my knees in slightly. And keep that breath going as much as you can. I know it's counterintuitive. If you think you want to hold your breath, make sure you do breathe. All right, now if that felt like it was enough of a challenge for you, you can stick with it. If you feel like you needed to back it up a touch, feel free to do the same movement with one foot on the floor. However, I am going to teach a progression. So instead of the small movement here, you're going to keep one leg exactly where it is and the other leg is going to drop. Tap the floor and then come all the way back up before the other leg moves. These are marches for the lower abs. Very, very nice. Now, one very important key to this in order to make it an effective exercise, we're not moving at the knee, we're moving here at the hip. The angle at the knee is staying very uniform. Let's take a quick little break. Good. Set 4. You can do isometric, you can do small beats, you can do big marches, or add a curl with your upper abs. So nice solid support of the head and neck, elbows stay nice and wide. You can hear my voice shaking a little bit. It's because my abs are shaking. And we are now engaging our upper and lower abdominals at the same time, trying to drop that belly button to the floor. Abs are burning. Back is nice and strong and solid against the mat. Oh, and there's our real break. Fabulous. Let's turn to the side with mindful thoughtfulness. And we're going to go ahead and come on up to standing. I knew that you guys were so sick of getting to just lie on the floor all day. Go, we got about 15 seconds left. All right. Back into our very last leg exercise. Okay, so let's come on down into a sumo squat. I'm a little hesitant to do this, partly because you can kind of see I've split a seam right here when I was running, like literally earlier today. Slightly embarrassing, but who cares? Toes are turned out, knees are nice and open, making sure that they are on the same plane as the toes. What we do not want is for the knees to be falling in like this. That's very tough on the joint. Belly button is in, glutes are squeezed, and just hold it. Good. We got less than 5 seconds left. Look at that. Good. Now, if you need a break, go ahead and take it. If not, we're going to hold this. And as soon as that bell goes off again, we're going to begin to pulse. In 3, 2, 1, and pulse, and pulse. Good. Now, there are a number of things you can do to adjust your positioning. Some people are very flexible. They can do a nice big sort of ballerina style turnout and still get their knees out wide enough. I'm not really one of those people, so I have a softer V with my feet. Also, you notice I'm not all the way forward with my hips. I do hinge back. That's going to help me open my knees up to where they need to be, but I have to keep my core tight to support the lower back. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Sets 3 and 4, you're welcome to do isometric, pulsing, or you can progress with a duck walk, which is what we're going to do next. And down we go. A duck walk is when you walk forward and walk back tiny little steps at a time. Starting on the right foot, right steps forward, and left, and right, and left. One more time, right, and then left. Hold this for a moment, and then we're going to go backwards. Very important that we don't torque the knee in order to get the distance. We're picking up the whole foot, all at the same time. And yes, it burns. Good. Beautiful. We only have one more set left before our cool down. What? My goodness. How is that even possible? 3, 2, 1, and hold it, or duck walk, or pulse. Good. Now, hands can be anywhere you like. They can be on your hips, they can be out here, out here, out here, whatever. The only thing I don't want you to do with your hands is this. This is cheating. It gives you leverage. Hi, Dave. Dave's here. Good. We got less than 10 seconds, ladies. You can do it. Stay low. Get that burn. Ooh, I see some duck walking over there. Yes, beautiful. There it is. Shake it out. Oh, get a little bit of water. And ladies, we're into our cool down stretch. Oh, my goodness. So that weird dwarven call is the beginning of our cool down. Now you notice I'm starting you out with some movement, not intense movement, but in general, I find it helps before we move into our stretch portion to let the heart rate come down gradually and to sort of work some movement into the cool down so that we're not just stopping short. And let's do some hamstring curls in 3, 2, 1. Bring that heel back. Now with these guys, you're gonna feel, especially after the sumo squats, a little bit of stretch. The front of the thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to a high knee. Bring it slow. You're probably gonna feel a little bit of fatigue. Get your hip flexors and your quads. And that's good. Hands up by the ears. We're gonna take it a little bit slower. Adding a touch of balance work here. As that knee comes up, you're on that one foot for longer. And we're adding a nice, slow, easy steam engine, bringing the opposite elbow, or rather opposite armpit, over toward the knee. I say armpit instead of elbow because what I don't want is this. That's not necessary. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's stand with your feet directly underneath your hips. We're going to do a calf raise into a little shoulder roll. So you're just going to come up. Oh, and go back down. That should feel so good. Try to take it a little bit slowly so you kind of hold that calf raise at the top and challenges your balance as well as works the calves. Good. And let's switch the direction of the shoulder roll. So we're going to go back. We're going to go backwards and forwards just as soon as Nicole figures out how to balance. Beautiful. And roll. Let's do one more time. Up and roll. Beautiful. Feet about hip distance apart. You're going to plant one hand down on your thigh. Kind of grip it with your fingies because that shoulder is going to want to drop. Tilt your head over. Stretch out the side of your neck. So it's very common when people tilt the head, they tend to bring the shoulder up with it. The idea is for you to drop the shoulder very actively. If you want more of a stretch, bring that hand and just very gently rest it on the skull just above the ear. Good. Big breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to very gently let it go. Slowly bring your head back to neutral. Plant that hand on the other thigh and tilt in the opposite direction. Ooh, this is where my neck and shoulder are a little squiffy right here. Good. Try not to send your hips out to one side or another. You are a nice, strong tree trunk. This should feel really nice. I am guessing that many of you are holding a lot of tension in your shoulders right about now. Also all day, every day for the rest of time. And drop. Good, big breath in. And very slowly bring your head back up. I hope you'll be delighted to learn that we're going to come down to the mat one more time. Oh, let's start on our hands and knees. I'm just going to keep my phone nearby so I can keep track of the time. Let's start with a little cat and cow. So we're going to begin by arching the back, chest is nice and open. And exhale as you round the back. Oh, feel that little stretch in the lower back. Should feel really nice. Go at your own pace here. And try to line your breathing up with the stretch itself. Good, one more time. And exhale, very, very nice. Bring yourself to a neutral spine, and then you're going to walk your hands to your knees and come up to a high kneeling position. Bring your knees slightly farther apart as if each knee is resting on a railroad track. Then one knee is going to come forward into a proposal pose, but you're still on that railroad track. The only reason why I'm cueing the railroad track is so that if you're on a tightrope, it can feel really wobbly. So bring that foot out to the side, gives you a little bit more stability. Very nice and tall, belly button is in. Squeeze the glute back here, and I want you to imagine as if there's a string pulling your pubic bone forward. We're gonna go into a hip flexor stretch. So a while ago, Carla did a Facebook video, don't know how many people saw it, about hip flexor stretches. It's a great video, and it reminded me that I need to do my hip flexor stretches a lot more. You should be feeling this running down the front of this hip. For me, this is my left hip. Good, big breath in. And on the exhale, bring the hips back, and we're gonna go ahead, switch right on over to the other side. I'm just now realizing I should have started on this side so you can see what I'm doing. Nice and tall, belly button is in, and you're gonna squeeze the booty right back here. Again, pubic bone is being pulled forward by a string, and we are extending through the front of that hip. Oh, if you need to, you notice I have to make a small adjustment, bring my foot forward. So here's the thing about a sedentary lifestyle being forced upon us by the pandemic. Means we're sitting a lot in front of computers and on couches and in easy chairs. When we sit, this muscle gets shortened because of this angle here. All gets shortened up. When that gets shortened, it affects our posture, tilts the pelvis, can cause a lot of problems for the lower back, as well as just general everyday function. So when we find ourselves sitting more, it becomes even more imperative for us to stretch out the hip flexors. Big breath in. Exhale, send your hips back. Good. And bring both knees back, down. Hips back. And let your torso fold forward. Walk yourself out into child's pose. Now what I'd like you to do, if your shoulders will allow it, walk your hands really all the way forward and drop your chest down. You should feel a nice stretch through the chest and the shoulders, right through here. Chest is another area where we get very tight when we're on the computer all the time because we're slouchy. So one way we can combat that is work the upper back and stretch out the chest. Good. Beautiful. And if you'd like a little bit more of a hip stretch here, you can try bringing your big toes together and then opening up your knees. So you have a lot of space here. Send the hips back. And then now you can kind of drop your chest and your belly between your thighs instead of resting on top of your thighs. This is a deeper chest stretch, and for the lower back. Might not be right for everybody. And in our last moments here, you can rest your forehead on your hands if you like. In our last moments here, let's slow down our breathing. Big inhales. Big exhales. And try to melt your forehead into the mat. Big inhale. Big exhale. Try to lengthen your spine. Tailbone going back. Skull going down. Big inhale. And big exhale. And just rest. Let your breath come to normal. Just pay attention to the pattern. Pay attention to any noises in the room around you. And just remind yourself that you are exactly where you need to be.
Activity completed.
Activity is completed. Fabulous work, ladies. Great job. Give yourselves claps. And I'm going to come up and say hello. Mary. Hi. I think,
that
ladies.
was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can try unmute. You can try unmuting yourself.
I'm unmuted.
I know Mary is, but
Oh.
we've had some weird stuff with the mute, unmute stuff. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, so good to see you.
Gorgeous. It's so good to see you. Oh my God. Ooh, look at that red wall. I just painted a red accent.
Oh, I know. Look at this. It's all over the place.
Yes.
Nicole, bring pictures next time. I want to see it.
Well, what I really should do is just do a whole video tour through the house.
That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica. Hello, Daphne.
Hi.
Hi, Daphne. Hi, ladies.
Thank you.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Very welcome. Great work. And I'm going to be back again teaching the 9:30 Zoom class on Friday. And we may have to do this again instead of the outdoor class, but we'll have to see. So keep an eye out on your emails and whatnots to